Hey, what's up everybody? Today I'm making a different type of video, one that I've never made before either on this channel, other channels I have, other social media platforms I have, where I basically vlog my experience after the fact, doing everything in hindsight, because you know, hindsight is 2020. And what I want to talk about today is my Kiss of Life First World Tour VIP Kiss Road concert experience. Because honestly, it was a crazy type of experience, a crazy story for me that led up until this moment. So the reason I want to make this type of video is because I know before concerts, what I do is I flip through a bunch of Reddit posts, I flip through a bunch of TikTok videos, I flip through a bunch of Instagram videos, trying to figure out what to expect. How does this ticketing service work? How do resale tickets work? How does it work at the actual venue? What do I do in terms of prepping, in terms of what I want to wear, or the photograph, or stuff like that. So hopefully this video is helpful to somebody out there struggling with their concert experience, and hopefully you can get some valuable information from this video. So if you like this type of content, let me know in the comments down below, because I've been to 30, maybe 30 K-pop concerts in the past 3 years. Something like that. So it's been a kind of a fast experience for me. But if you find this type of information useful, or if you want to share it with other people who might be struggling the same way I did, let me know in the comments, because I'd be happy to share my experience with y'all to make life easier. Alright, but with that being said, let me hop into my Kiss of Life First World Tour Kiss Road VIP concert experience. So let me start with the background of me and Kiss of Life. So back in 2023, I had a buddy reach out to me and they said, hey, you like these types of groups, maybe you're gonna like this new group, Kiss of Life. And I was like, I'm not really sure. I don't know if I can dedicate the time to get into a new group, because honestly, I don't know how the K-pop community does it, where they manage so many different groups. I can manage 5, maybe 10 groups all at the same time. So if you're the type of K-pop fan that knows 80 gajillion different groups, you know their entire history, what companies they belong to, what their light stick looks like, every single member's name and their hobbies and stuff, that is awesome. Kudos to y'all. That is super impressive, but I cannot do that. I can't dedicate that type of time, unfortunately. So I told my buddy, I don't know if I can really invest in a new group right now, because there were other groups I was following, other things I was doing in my life. So I wasn't really sure if I could invest in a new group. So at the time, I just didn't. Now, let's fast forward to August, September of 2024, this year, where I had 2 different groups of friends reach out to me, and they were basically hey, Kiss of Life just announced their First World Tour. Are you down to go? And then literally a whole entirely different person, these 2 people did not talk, reached out to me, and they're just hey, Kiss of Life just announced their First World Tour. Are you down to go? And I was like, you know what? If this many people are reaching out to me and asking me about this group, and if I've heard about them, then it's worth a shot taking a look into it. So when I was thinking about buying the tickets, so I do this thing, and people who live in areas around big cities probably do the same thing. So if you live in an area nearby Los Angeles, California, nearby New York City, nearby Chicago, nearby Minneapolis, nearby Atlanta, you probably do the same thing that I do, where you basically wait until the week before, the week of the concert, and then you buy your tickets on the spot. Because in my experience, the closer it gets to the concert, there's this small window, which is again a week to a few days before the concert, where people either are getting rid of tickets really fast because they can no longer go, so they're willing to sell it at a cheap price, or there are people who already intended to resale tickets, have not gotten rid of it yet, and they're oh my gosh, I gotta get rid of these tickets right now, let me make some of my money back. So if you live nearby one of those cities, you probably do something like that, because you don't have to plan a flight. Yeah, maybe it drives 3 hours, but what is that compared to a flight, right? That's not even a tank of gas to when you're doing that comparison anyways. So I found that usually works for me if I'm not going for VIP. If I'm going for VIP, usually I'm buying the minute that those ticket sales drop, because I never know if either 1, those VIP tickets are ever going to go back up, or 2, if they won't be incredibly overpriced like the day before and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, new group, trying to get into them, let's just get a feel for it, and let's just wait till the week of the concert and then buy our tickets then. So like it gets closer to October, and then I attend the XG concert, and I meet up with a few friends there, and then I reach out to one of my friends. I was like, hey, I think you were on the screen for a bit. I got like a video for you. And then we were just talking after that, and so I asked them, because like they're really good at like K-pop in general. Like they have traveled to K-pop concerts. They always get VIP somehow. Like they're amazing when it comes to like managing this K-pop stuff. So I asked them, I was like, yo, where do you get Kiss of Life tickets? Because I didn't really know where I could buy like the tickets officially. And they were like, oh, you have to go through AXS, but I think they've been sold out for a long time. And I was like, oh shoot, maybe that means I'm not going to go. But then my buddy says, but I was able to upgrade myself to a VIP ticket, so I still have a general admission ticket. And he was willing to let it go at like base price after fees and all that. And I was like, ooh, like $79 for a show that's basically sold out. Like, I think I'm in. So I bought the ticket from my buddy, and I was like, nice, going to the concert. So it was like a GA ticket, and I'm not too fond of GA because that's a lot of standing, and honestly, I really do like to sit down, like when the videos play or like between songs and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, GA, I'm down. Like, I want to check out this group, see how it goes. So then let's fast forward to like 2 more days. So basically, we're talking the day before the concert at this point. It is like 11:11, and it is time to make a wish and a decision all at the same time. So I guess the way AXS works is that you can start reselling your tickets like 3 days before the concert on their actual app. So I was like, you know what, let me just check tickets, let's see how it goes. So I hop on to the AXS app, and I check the resale tickets, because I'm like, you know what, maybe I can get like a seated ticket, or maybe I can get something better. And as I was checking like what tickets are being resold, there were like 4 VIP tickets being sold, and one of them was, I think, the base price of $200, which is kind of crazy because, again, I think that was the base cost of the ticket, like what people who bought during like the pre-sale had to pay for it. And I was like, yo, $200 for like a VIP ticket, like this kind of seems worth it. And I was like, okay. Like, I don't really know what to expect from VIP, so let's check the seated tickets anyways. And then there was a front row balcony seat for like $140. So I was like, oh, or I could just sit down and just enjoy the concert and like take my video and like be happy and call it a day there. So like basically what I did for the next like 2 hours, so I had to unfortunately leave my friends for a bit because I was actually on a friend trip in San Francisco, so I had to leave my friends for a little bit to just try and figure this stuff out. So basically it was a mad scramble from there, and this is where I had to do a lot of like searching up stuff for AXS. And the long and short is, when it comes to VIP, so I had to figure out the stuff that it came with. So it comes with like the photo, the early access to the venue, which means like you can get like a better standing position for GA, early access to merch, a free poster, sound check, and a lanyard. And when I thought about it, I was like, VIP kind of sounds worth it, specifically for like the photo, right? Because this is like a photo with the artist. This ages super well. Like, if I don't get this photo now, am I gonna regret it in the future? And basically, like, part of me was like, yeah, you know, you're really gonna regret it. Like, what if this group gets very big, and then, like, you'll never have another chance at this photo ever again? So I was like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. Let's see how it all goes. But then I was like, but seated ticket. And that's when I had to start digging into, like, AXS and resale tickets. So the long and short is, after several minutes of being on hold, after looking at Reddit posts, after looking at TikTok videos, the long and short is that AXS says you can transfer a VIP ticket, but the only thing that's guaranteed in terms of the transfer is the seat. So basically what that meant for me is, if I was buying VIP, which is a general admission seat ticket, and I already had a general admission ticket, basically I was buying the same thing in terms of AXS, because AXS, their representative told me that benefits do not transfer. So that means the photo wouldn't transfer, the early access wouldn't transfer, the sound check wouldn't transfer, the lanyard wouldn't transfer, is basically what they were telling me. And that kind of steered me away from VIP quite a bit, because it's like no guarantees, like that doesn't sound cool. So then I called the venue itself. And basically I had to leave a message. Like, they never called me back. So I never found out whether or not the venue would support my ticket if it said VIP. So at this point I'm like, maybe VIP isn't like worth it. Like, AXS has confirmed that they don't honor like the VIP benefits. Like, the venue hasn't gone back to me, and they didn't say anything about like if they honor VIP benefits, because a lot of the Reddit posts said like, oh, it's really up to the venue. Like, some people are cool with it and some people literally check for your ID. So after that I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go get the seated tickets. So I joined my friends back, just to kind of catch them up with where I'm at. And then they got like super interested, well, maybe not super interested, but I was super interested in talking about it, about like this whole VIP versus front row balcony versus GA ticket I already had, like, debate that I had internally going on. And my friends all sort of had different opinions on it. So two of my friends were just like, yeah, why don't you just do it? It's totally fine. If you don't get it, doesn't matter. And if you do get all the benefits, that's super cool. But I was like, y'all, that's like an extra like $170 on a gamble. But then one of my buddies, first of all, one of my buddies was just like, yeah, you know what? Why don't you do this? Why don't you buy the VIP seat, see if it comes with the stuff, because it's the same ticket anyways, and then also buy the balcony seat in case it doesn't work out, because then you could sit down. Or even better, you could alternate between GA and sitting down. And I was like, that is a horrible idea, my guy. But one of my buddies, his wife probably had the most sound advice that I heard that entire day. And they were just like, if your current position is that you gotta stand anyways, you might as well attempt to stand closer. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. It really does make a lot of sense. So I was like, you know what? Let's give it a roll. Let's try it. Let's buy the VIP ticket, see how it goes. So I took kind of like a big risk there. Because if at any given moment, either AXS or the venue is just like, you know what, we're not going to honor this, like, this isn't your ID, like, you don't have the email, stuff like that, then I was basically out of luck. And that's it. That's GG's. That's where the story ends. So yeah, I bought the ticket, took the risk, tried to see how it went. And then me, again, being very new to Kiss of Life. So again, I was in San Francisco. On my flight back, I basically like ran the songs as many times as I could on this flight, whether I was like waiting to get on the plane itself, like arriving back. I basically listened to their songs as much as possible, and like, you know, while I was on Spotify, I just basically hearted all the songs that I liked, hoping that they would play it at the concert. So I basically did my research all before. So super fast, like Kiss of Life, Kiss Road, running down, trying to figure out everything as quickly as I could. So let me now talk about my VIP experience and basically the day of the concert. So the day of the concert, I contacted my buddy who bought me the original, or who I bought the original GA ticket from, because I know that they had VIP. So I was like, hey, I bought VIP kind of on a gamble, but I also didn't get the email saying like, this is the stuff to prep, this is when you come to the venue and stuff like that. And like my friend told me like, yeah, I actually didn't get that email either. But I found this online. So somebody posted their like VIP email online and they just forwarded that to me. And again, keep in mind, this is the day of the concert. I made a very bad decision to not attempt to take the day off from work, thinking that if I worked early in the morning, I would be able to make it to the concert on time and still enjoy my VIP stuff. Because I was expecting VIP to kind of start at like 6 p.m. or something like that. 5 p.m., 6 p.m., something like that. So when I got this message from my friend, it was like, VIP check-ins at 3:30. And I was like, oh. So, needless to say, I had to work very, very hard, and then I had to drive a very, very long distance, and I basically made it to the concert venue at around like 4:15, because I think VIP check-in was between like 3:30 and 4:30, so I barely made it in like the nick of time, which was very, very cool, but like literally I had to like run from the Spot Hero Pass place all the way to the venue, and I got to the venue, I got in line, I was like like I was like out of breath, like I couldn't bring food or like drinks in there with me, so I wasn't going to carry it all the way to the front door basically. So yeah, point of advice, try and get all your VIP information at least a day before the concert, especially if you're buying resale, you're gonna have to outsource it from somewhere else. So yeah, that was fun. But after that, I was basically standing outside for a bit because I guess they didn't check everyone in, or they didn't start checking people in until actually about like 4 o'clock. So I was like, I sort of like made it in time. Things actually just kind of worked out. So I get inside and the line is like super long. Like it goes upstairs, around, like I think it went it was like upstairs, around like a hallway, and then down a hallway, and then downstairs, and then through the main lobby, and then into the actual theater itself. So the line was still long even inside, and this was just the people who got VIP. So that was for the early merch. So what happened was like the line basically led into like a sideline for merch if you wanted it, or you can just go straight into the photo. But you can either purchase merch, go to the photo, or go to the photo and then just head to the venue early, like claim your spot in GA and stuff like that. So basically, like when I got to the door, actually this is right before they started letting people in, like I showed the person my ticket and it said VIP on there, and they're like, checks out to me, and they let me in. So that's when it hit me that I was like, VIP is fine. Like VIP resale is fine, but it's really up to the venue if they want to let you in or not, because again, this was a call from an AXS representative that they do not honor VIP benefits that are transferred. They just honor the seat itself. So I actually got kind of lucky with this gamble, because the person who was letting people in saw VIP, scanned the ticket, it all checked out, and they just let me inside. They didn't do an ID check, anything like that. So really thankful to the staff for just honoring the VIP ticket, because again, that was a huge gamble that I took, and it cost quite a bit of money. So I'm kind of glad that worked out. So anyways, back into this line. So it went to the merch, then into the venue. That's when you take the photo, and then you get your spot in like the GA floor area. So while I was standing in line, like I should have done this definitely the day before, but I should have mapped out like what concert merch do I want to get. And I highly recommend for people who go to concerts in the future, check out the merch that they post online beforehand, whether it's on like the production group's like Instagram page, or if someone posts it on Reddit. Check out the merch beforehand and kind of map out what you want to buy, because sometimes stuff sells out. Sometimes stuff can sell out while you're at the actual booth, because somebody who knew what they wanted like got the last thing. And this is really relevant for certain items. Like I know for the Twice Ready to Be concert, like they sold out at trading cards like super fast. So know what you want to get when you get in there, because there are people who know what they want and they might get the last thing, they might get the last size, stuff like that. So know what you want to get from the merch table. So I did not do that for this one. I kind of messed up, and I was doing that in line. I took a photo of the merch and then kind of just figured out like what do I want to get. Like, do I want a shirt, do I want a sweater, do I want trading cards, do I want like the signs, stuff like that. So that's basically what I was doing in line, and then I get to the merch, and they were actually pretty well stocked on everything. I don't know if it's because the Chicago tour date was kind of early on in the tour, and I don't know if the merch is basically like shuttled from place to place, or if they have specific allocations for every single place. Because honestly, concerts are all different. Some literally say like, this is the stock for the Washington tour. This is the stock for the Atlanta tour. And some are just like, this is our big stock at the beginning. And as the tour goes on, like there's less and less stuff until there's basically nothing left. So I don't know how it worked for Kiss of Life, but I know they had like a pretty good stock of like trading cards. They had a pretty good stock of like the bonus you get for spending certain amounts of money. So when I got to the front, I basically bought a shirt. So I bought the tour shirt because I love tour shirts where they have like the places that they visit. Like this might be back from like my pop punk rock kind of days where I really like tour shirts that had like all the places listed on the back. So I got the tour shirt, and then I bought 3 of these. And I got somebody else a shirt too because they asked for a shirt. And thankfully it totaled out to $140. So I got the free like photo card pack that comes with every single member. And like some people are selling this online for an insane amount of money. And keep in mind, if you're buying that item, it was free. I just had to spend a certain amount of money on like concert merch. But I did buy trading cards, and I did buy more after the show. So I'm basically just going to run through all the trading cards that I got. So here are all the photo cards that I got from all the packs that I bought. So I bought 3 at the beginning, and I bought 2 at the end. So here are all my photo cards, y'all. In case y'all wanted to see what I pulled, I got a double there. Is it obvious that I used to play TCGs? Alright, so those are all the trading cards that I got. Here's the back of them in case anyone is curious what the back looks like. So got the trading cards, got the shirt, and then I headed into the venue. So this is where I talk about the photo itself, because again, the VIP experience came with a photo. Thankfully, the venue honored my VIP experience. They let me in, and I was prepping for this photo, and I was like at the very end of this line because I got there really late in comparison to like a lot of other people. So the way that the photo worked is that they went in groups of 6. So basically you went in with like a group of you plus 5 other people, whether they were strangers or friends. And I was at the end of the line basically, and I had some people who were like a group of 3. We tried to do like the math and figure out like, okay, how do we break this up so that this group of people can stay with their friends? There was another group of like 2 people that were friends, and there were like a bunch of people who were there, like me, who were there by themselves. So we tried to do all the math, and the last 2 groups, and it was super cool because usually when you think about being late, it's like a downside, but in this case it was like a benefit, where the last 2 groups were each 4 people. So as opposed to the 6 people that the normal photo was, like the last 2 groups got 4 people, which was really cool because the way that the photo works is that the artist stands behind and then the people sit in chairs in the front. So there's 4 Kiss of Life members, and then the last 2 groups were 4 people each. So that's kind of cool because it's just like, you know, there's less people. And yeah, so the way that the photo worked is that, so first of all, again, they divided us up into like groups of 6, and in my case, a group of 4. And then the artist stood in the back, so they were standing in order where it was Belle, Natty, Julie, and then Hanel, and then basically you sat down like in front of them. So keep that in mind, because one thing that I should have thought about in hindsight is like, okay, do I want to stand or sit down in front of my bias, right? That's the first thing I really should have thought about. But again, it happened super quick. So there's your like first piece of like insider info, right? So after that, make sure you plan what you want to do. Because honestly, I was so flustered. Like the photographer's like, next group, next group. It was basically like being at TSA at the airport, and it's just like, come on, move it, move it, move it. I was like, what do I do? Where do I go? Where do I sit? Like, what is going on? So it all happened really fast. So all I did was smile. But if you want to like throw up a peace sign, if you want to do a heart, if you want to do a heart, if you want to do like, I don't know, ears, something, like just try and plan that out beforehand, because that photo went by in like 20 seconds. It was so fast. Now, for people who got VIP, in case you didn't see this before, so this is the VIP lanyard, which is really cool. And then on the back of it is actually the QR code where you can download your photo. Now, to my knowledge, it hasn't been uploaded yet. So just keep that in mind, that it's on the back of your lanyard in case you're trying to find that photo in the future. that was the photo experience. So just keep in mind those things, that piece of advice where it's just like, again, you know how they're standing, you sit in chairs in front of them, and you might want to work with the people around you to try and like sit in the place that you want to sit in. So after that, I met up with some friends who already got their photo and all that stuff, and then we all just stood together, and then they started soundcheck. So for soundcheck for the Chicago tour, they played Gentleman, Chemistry, and Sticky, and it was honestly super fun. I love doing soundcheck because it's like very intimate, it's very like low key, you know, it's very like not high stress. Like I love soundcheck just because it's like very relaxed, right? It's just, you get to vibe, you get to enjoy. So I really like soundcheck, and I highly recommend, if you haven't done soundcheck before, I recommend at least doing it once for an artist that you really like, because it's honestly just super fun. So soundcheck was dope, and then I think the worst part about this concert for me came up next, where I was standing for 2 hours, because soundcheck was at like 5:30, and the concert started at like 7:30. And again, this is GA, there aren't any seats, so basically standing for the length of the concert before the concert actually started. So just keep that in mind when it comes to like being comfortable. Like if you want to like pop a squat and you're standing in GA, do it super early and not after everyone's like condensed their way up to the front. Because one thing that's really great about the K-pop community is like mutual respect for like other K-pop fans. Where it's just like, if you're sitting, no one's gonna like just go over you, right? Nobody's gonna push you while you're sitting down. So general advice, like, so I don't, honestly, it's really place to place if it's safe to be sitting down like that. But if it seems safe, just decide to pop a squat early, because standing for 2 hours was kind of tough. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, because it's 2 hours of like no movement too. You know what I mean? You're basically like, your feet are glued to the ground, and you got to stand there until the concert starts. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you want to go use the bathroom, like, do it right then and there. And basically I had to do everything before GA was allowed in, because once GA was allowed in, and I think like I think they were allowed in at like 6:30. I basically had to take care of everything before that. If I wanted to get more merch, if I wanted to go to the bathroom, if I wanted to grab a bottle of water, a snack, something like that, try and resolve all that stuff like before GA goes in, because it might be way more difficult to get back to your spot in VIP where you were standing if there's way more people involved. And at that point, they might have all started pushing towards the front and stuff like that. So after that was the actual concert itself, and I uploaded my entire concert. Go check out that video if you want to watch it. But yeah, then there was the whole concert. It was super fun, super exciting. I'm super excited for Kiss of Life in the future and what they've got going on. Because I really like their style of music. Like, I really think it's got like this old, like early 2000s vibe, where there's like elements of rock, there's like elements of R&B. They've got like their slow ballad songs that are super good too. Like right now, REM is like the song that plays almost every single time I get in the car. So yeah, love the concert. The whole experience is uploaded on there. And where does that leave us after the concert? So after the concert, I had to get my poster. So this is the poster that they give out for free for anyone who's VIP. So just like a standard poster. There's really nothing like crazy about it, to be honest. But it is like a nice glossy, like printed on photo paper, high res poster. So hopefully everyone who's got VIP gets that poster too. And then after the concert, that was it for me. Like, we're hooked. We're involved. That's it. GG's. I guess we're adding another group to our very yeah, we're adding more groups basically. So yeah, after the concert, I was just like, oh man, do I want to buy a signed album? Because I missed it. Because I know a few months ago they had like the Hello 82 albums that they were selling that were signed. I was like, I missed it, but people are selling it on eBay. And after like figuring out which sellers I trusted and stuff like that, I got one. I got the Lose Yourself Julie signed Hello 82 album. So if it wasn't obvious, became a Julie bias. And then even after that, like, I went to another K-pop shop, and I was like, you know what, let me see your binder of, like, pre-order benefits to see what you have. And I did not know, well, I did know, but, like, I forgot, I guess, that Kiss of Life had a One Piece collab. And for those who follow me on other channels, like, I love anime. And they had the One Piece photo cards. So this is the Julie photo card, where Julie's got kind of like a Nami cosplay going on. So yeah, I thought these were really cool photo cards. So that led me to buy another album. So now I've got an album to open, basically, and now I'm invested in the Kiss of Life universe. So I'm really excited to see what Kiss of Life has in the future, like future tours, because honestly, they are doing super well with this tour. Like, it's sold out, and they had to open more dates, and that's super impressive, in my opinion, for a group that started basically like a year ago. Like, they are riding the high, and like, congratulations to them. Super excited to see what's coming into the future for Kiss of Life. But that was basically, like, my whole concert experience. There was one other thing, actually, while I was standing for 2 hours. Because basically I was talking to the people around me. We were all talking about, like, our experiences, VIP, stuff like that, like, walks of life, stuff like that. And one thing that haunted me, like, the whole time we were standing was, do I buy a light stick? Because I was super tempted to. But, like, the thing that I'm hitting with light sticks is that they basically sit in the box until, like, it's time for the concert, and I use them, like, once a year. So yeah, I was super tempted to buy a light stick. And if they are your old group, or if you plan on going to multiple concerts for them, if they're, like, a new group specifically, too, because then they've got, like, quite a number of years on their contract, something to consider when it comes to buying light stick. But, like, 5 people around me were trying to convince me to buy the light stick. Or even if they weren't trying to actively convince me, they kept, like, turning it on, and I was like, this is so cool. It's like a heart monitor. I think this is really cool. I should go get one, but I don't know when I'm going to use it next. So, basically a whole light stick debacle. But anyways, that was my entire Kiss of Life VIP First World Tour Kiss Road concert experience. I hope the information was somewhat helpful. I know this video is somewhat long. Hopefully, like, it's something, again, you can listen to. I will be putting, like, timestamps in the description below to kind of help people try to navigate through the video. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do this type of video again, but if you did like it, if you found it useful, let me know again in the comments below, because I can do this for every single concert that I go to, and hopefully that helps people with, like, ticketing experience, or, like, if you actually want to share your story too, let me know in the comments below, because honestly, I could imagine everyone's story with this is very different. So I'd love to hear your story, how you got involved with Kiss of Life, how you decided to buy VIP, how you decided to buy GA, like, what sort of things run through your mind as you're deciding, like, what sort of tickets you want. So let me know in the comments below, because I'd love to hear your experience, and I'd love to think about your experience too when I'm buying my future tickets too. But that is everything that I have in terms of my Kiss of Life First World Tour Kiss Road VIP concert experience, and I hope it was helpful to somebody out there. But with that being said, that is the end of this video. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'd be happy to answer when I have the time. That's all for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, until next time, take it easy.